I started photography in London working with Simon Gutman, who in Berlin before the war trained Robert Capa to be a photographer. In fact, Capa was a darkroom boy in his agency. Later, I came back to Pietrasanta, the town I was born, which has become now, in fact, a fashionable small town for international sculptors. Before, when I was a child, here during the war was very, very tough. The Nazis killed about 630 people in the village. People said to me, you know, that's why you are a war photographer. Your background invited you to be a war photographer. I don't know if that is true. This interpretation is a possibility, but I know that I am a photographer interested in conflicts and war, because in those situations, people are obliged to reveal their own feelings, their contradictions, themselves, their hopes, their anxiousness. I will show you a photograph I took in Hanoi at the Presidential Palace in 1965. It's President Ho Chi Minh with Prime Minister Van Van Dong. When President Ho Chi Minh appeared, I was very excited, and he said to me, "No photography." I was even more excited at that stage. So excited that I said to him, "But Mr. President, the rumors in the West are so that you are not in a very good health. Let me show to everyone how well you look." He said, "You are an optimist. Optimists make good revolutionaries. You can take my photograph." The photograph ran in the cover of Life magazine. And I used this 500mm lens to give the sense of form that would be fascinating as form, also fascinating as content, as I feel that soldiers doing the drilling are sort of anonymous kind of human beings. Another reason was also my intention to disconcert the viewers by somehow give them a sort of imbalance on the beauty and the perfection of its pictures of the architecture, at the same time the destruction affected by war. These men are fighters during the war in Chechnya in 1995. They were photographed during the fighting with the Russians. I decided to photograph these people who were able to defend themselves against such a powerful army, and were doing it very well. I set up a studio in Grozny during really hard times with flash units and backgrounds. I used an interpreter to ask them if they wanted to be photographed. Many accepted. They didn't pose, just stood there, tired, dirty, tense, some of them wounded. I wanted to photograph them because they had such a great history. Tolstoy, Lermontov, Pushkin had written about these people. I also thought they were almost unreal, such a young man against the Russian army. There was something else that I found very interesting. This man with a beard was not a Chechen. His name is Ali, a 30 years old man from Tajikistan. He came to fight for love. Why for love? We don't have that, love for war. But he didn't think like that. He came to fight, to risk his life for his Chechen friend Mogamed. Another young man I photographed came to fight. He came from Azerbaijan. He too came to help a friend. These instances reminded me of the characters in Greek mythology, like Achilles or Hercules. I began to photograph these young men as warriors. They made made me think of the same warriors that you see in the friezes of the Parthenon or on the Roman sculptures. For me, they weren't any longer just defenders of this little land. They were warriors in the classical sense of what we know from the history of art. That's why I arranged the lights almost like a Hollywood set. And many people, when they look at these photographs, they don't know if they are seeing actors or whether they are looking at real warriors. I can assure you that these are men who know how to fight, and some of them know how to love.